Today we'll continue our discussion and we'll understand about the data extensions. So we have already understood the data extensions in Email Studio. So we can see the data extension from here or from the Email Studio. We'll understand a couple of differences when we access the data extension from Contact Builder versus from Email Studio. So I think a couple of things we already know that if there are more than 200 records that we want to access from a data extension that we cannot view from the email studio and we have to come to contact builder if you want to access a large number of records, right? More than 200 records. Let's go to our folder and then let's see a couple of more differences. So let's pick this data extension. So all these options are almost same. I mean, used for sending you for testing and have all the fields over here. We can add any other field or attribute that we want to add and things like that. Okay. A data retention policy. Once the data extension is created, you cannot edit the data retention policy in Email Studio, but you can do that via Contact Builder. So here we get this option to make the changes in the data retention policy via Contact Builder. Now, when we come to record, you can see we can filter the records based on the customer ID. Because we have made the customer ID as a primary key, we are now able to filter the records with the help of customer ID. So whatever the fields that you have made as a primary key, these options or these fields will be there for us to make a filter. Otherwise, if you will not make any primary key, we will not get any option to filter the records. So this is the like filtering the records is not applicable in Email Studio. We can only do it via Contact Builder. So that is one thing. Apart from that, why we use generally for the why we generally use Contact Builder for the data extension, there are two main reasons. One is that if you want to access more than 200 records, and another reason is that we can perform the CRUD operation over here. So if you want to create any new record in the data extension, we can do that. We can just add a record over here and it will be done. But this option, you don't get it in a Email Studio. Apart from that, if you want to make a change in any of the record, we can edit the record, we can clear a single record. But in case of Email Studio, we only have this option to clear all the records. We cannot clear or we cannot delete a single record, or we cannot edit a record. So these are the few differences that is there in the data extension if we access it from the Email Studio versus Contact Builder. But the concept remains same. We have different types of data extensions. We have the different properties of data extension. So we can click on the create button over here and we get the same right. So it says that how do you want to create the data extension and the different attributes in them. Okay. So import activity, we'll talk about in detail when we come to Automation Studio. Then I'll show you the entire import information. So basically import is used to import the data from the FTP server. So we'll understand this in detail when we come to Automation Studio. Now let's talk about the context configuration, and here we're going to talk about the contact deletion. So before understanding the contact deletion, let's understand few basic questions that why do we want to delete a contact and all. So we have all this data stored in our marketing cloud. Now, what would be the scenarios where we might want to delete the contact? So let's say we have all these contacts and now they have opted out, or maybe we are not sending them the emails or any kind of communication, and they are just taking up the space, and whatever the contact that we have in our account, they are billable. I mean, they are chargeable. So marketing cloud charges the company based on number of accounts that they are storing in the account. So let's say the addition that we purchase, we get this like 45K contacts that we can store maximum. But if we exceed that limit, then what will happen? For each and every contact, we have to pay additional. So if we have additional contacts and we are not using them anymore, what do we want to do? We will just delete them, right? Second scenario, what could happen is that if there is a customer and the customer say that I don't want you to store any of my information in the system, and as per the GDPR laws, we have to comply with the regulations. So we have to delete every information that we have stored in our marketing cloud account for that particular customer. So there could be two scenarios. One is that if you want to delete it from our own, wish, and we want to delete it like because of we don't want these contacts anymore, or this request might come from the customer side, and we want to delete the contact. But it could be any scenario, it could be any reason, but we have to delete a contact, right? Now let's understand that how do we delete a contact. I mean, deleting a contact is not a very lengthy process, but in the backend, it is processed in in different phases. So we'll understand that once we delete a contact, what happens in the backend, and what are the different stages the contact goes through before the permanent deletion. So we'll go to the all contacts. Before that, let me go to contacts analytics. Okay, so this is a tab, contact analytics. Here we can see the how many requests that we have made for the contact deletion. So it says contact delete request. So in a week or in a day or in a month, so how many requests that we have raised. So right now it is not showing anything because we have not made any request. What we will do now, we will go to email and we will delete a contact. So we will delete this contact. We'll check this checkbox and we'll click on this pin icon and this drop down. Here what we can do, we can delete the selected contacts if we want to delete manually. Otherwise, we have two more options. We can delete the contacts from our list or from the date extension. So here we have to select the list, and in the another option, we have to select the date extension, and then we can delete all the contacts or all the records from that particular list or the date extension. For now, just to make this process simpler, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to delete this particular contact. So I'll click on this delete selected contacts and it will be deleted when I click on this. So whenever we say that, okay, we want to delete a contact, what happens in the backend is that it goes through different stages. The first stage is that deletion request. So we are initiating the request, we are initiating the process of the deletion. Now, once the contact is initiated for the deletion, it goes into the suppression period. Now, what is the suppression period? It is a time period in which a contact stays in the system, but it is not available on the UI, and we cannot see or we cannot access that contact from any of the application. Like it is showing us over here that once we initiate the request, it will go into the suppressed period, and it will be called as a suppressed contact. The suppressed contacts, they are saying that do not appear in journey builder, do not appear in contact builder, and email studio, mobile connect, mobile push, right? So these are different applications from where the content will be suppressed, and it won't appear anywhere, and we cannot access it. We cannot send the communication to that contact as it is in a suppressed period. Now, once the suppression period is over, what happens is that the marketing cloud finally deletes that content, and it is a final permanent deletion, and we cannot undo this process. Okay, so let's delete the contact. So now what I'll do, I'll again search for this contact. Okay, so it is not available over here. And okay, one more thing. So if you want to delete a contact, we have to enable this feature called contact delete. If you will, like, this feature is turned on right now, and if you will turn off this feature, what will happen? We will not get that pin option. We will not get that option to delete the contact. And here you can see this small link is called manage settings. So when we click on this, what we can do, we can see the range, right? So this is for the setting up the suppression period. So it can range from 0 to 30 days. So if we'll set it to 0, what will happen? Right now it is set to 0 only. So it means that it will be deleted instantly. It will not go into the suppression period, and it will like go just to the final deletion. So let's go to context analytics. Okay, let's wait for a few minutes and then we will again see whether we have got the request over here or not. Let's talk some of the best practices when we delete a contact. So whenever we delete a contact, we saw that it will be suppressed from all the different applications that we have in Marketing Cloud account. Not just it will be suppressed, but it will also be deleted, because a contact, we talked about, our contact is a person, right? And it might be related to the email studio subscriber, mobile studio subscriber, and it might be a part of a data extension as well, right? But whenever a customer raises the request that I don't want any information to be stored in this account, uh, which means that wherever we have stored the information, it could be a data extension or list or anywhere, it has to be deleted, right? We just don't want to delete from the content builder, but wherever we have stored this information, we want to delete it. Now, once we initiate the request for the deletion, what happens? It will not only delete from the contact folder, but from all subscribers list, sendable data extension, mobile current, mobile push. It will delete the record from everywhere, right? Now, how do Marketing Cloud identify that, okay, it is the same record and I need to delete it because of the contact key. So in all subscribers list, subscriber key value will be same as the contact key, right? In list also we have subscriber key. In sendable data extension, we also have a subscriber key. Mobile connect, mobile push, we have a contact key. Right. So with the help of the contact key value, it will go to that particular table, like all subscribers list or sendable data extension. So it will go to that particular table, find that record with the help of the contact key, and then it will delete it. But this process does not apply to the non-sendable data extension. Why? Because it makes sense that in non-sendable data extension, we do not have a subscriber key. Now, when we don't have a subscriber key, how Marketing Cloud is going to identify that it is the same record for which I want to delete the contact. So for non-sendable data extensions, we have to do it manually. That we have to go to the data extension, find the record, that is it the same record or not, and then we have to delete it. But from all these places, it will be deleted by the system. Now, once we delete a contact, it is a final process, and it cannot, like, we cannot undo this process. We cannot restore the deleted contacts. Once it is deleted, it is deleted. Now, when we delete a contact, we also delete all the preferences which are associated with that particular contact. So let's say he wants to receive the text-based emails and not the HTML-based emails. He has opted in for these particular categories in publication-based. So whatever the preferences that we have stored for the particular contact, that will also be deleted, right? And now, if the same content, if we reduce the same content, then we have to consider that content as a fresh content, and then we have to take all the consent from that customer actually. We cannot say that, okay, we already have your permission, we already have the permission from this content or your preferences, and we will send the email accordingly. So the new contact will be treated as a new contact only, and we have to take the consent and the permission only. So this is what we just so that if you want to delete a contact, we have to enable this feature contact delete, which is available in the contacts configuration. Otherwise, we won't be able to delete the contact. So whenever we delete a contact from a list or a data extension, I mean, it is a best practice that we export the list or data extension in a file. Otherwise, what will happen if there is an error in the process? We won't get to know that okay, what all contacts or what all records are deleted and what all are pending, right? So, uh, like if you have this file, as a backup, then at least we know okay, if there's anything wrong goes, then we have a backup and we can just import the file and initiate the delete process as well. So for the synchronized data sources, I mean, we just talked about the synchronized data extensions, right? And how we can pull the data from the other Salesforce systems into Marketing Cloud. So if the data is coming from any other Salesforce system into Marketing Cloud, we have to delete it from the source, right? So we don't have the delete permission in the synchronized data extensions. So what we need to do, we need to go to Sales Cloud or Service Cloud, and then we have to delete the data from there. We cannot delete it in the Marketing. So let's just see. Okay, so let's do one thing. We will change the suppression period to 1 day. Now we will delete up again a contact. Might take some time. Will appear over here. So let's talk about the content analytics. So basically, it has 4 different sections: total, complete, processing, and invalid. So whatever the request that we have made, it will first go into the processing state, and after the processing, either it will be a complete or invalid. And the total tab shows all the total requests like that we have made so far.